Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. So it's the day after the great big event. The Parkles showed up and they didn't disgrace themselves. They weren't booed and jeered out of the auditorium. They did skip the red carpet at the Espys. Meghan did try to hang on to Harry and sort of be towed onto the stage, but he managed to shake her off. He did seem to ask people to stay on the stage with him while he gave his acceptance speech so that people couldn't boo and jeer, and then they left early. So I'm just a little bit curious. It's all done, all over, bar the shouting. Was there shouting on the way home? Was it silent? Was it happy? I want to know their mood. I'm curious today. Just curious. And so I'm using the After Tarot, which, the light is on because I'm doing this a bit late. It's been a long and busy day in my real world, my day job, my day life, my real world life. Busy at the moment. But I thought, let's just see what the mood was. Did I think they did wonderfully well? Was it worth it? All the fuss, all the drama, all the money that they might have dropped, according to rumour, to get this award given to the Tillman Foundation. There is that rumour. That's what they did. It's just a rumour. Let's see. Mood on the way home. Harry on the one side of this reading, on the left hand side, and Meghan on the right. I'm going to shuffle these cards in. I think we're good to go. And let's just satisfy our curiosity as to how they really think it went. No sign of Diana anything on Meghan. Harry, bald, but looking quite pleased with himself while he was there. Not necessarily pleased with her. So that's kind of interesting in itself. Let's remind you, as I lay the cards out, Harry on the left, Meghan on the right. This is tarot for fun and entertainment. It is all my opinion, all speculation, and of course I'm just reading energy here. And there is a disclaimer in the box below. That's our after card for what comes next for Harry and Meghan. After this big moment, that's the underlying energy. A conflict card. 5 of Swords, a fighting. So behind the smiles and the happy faces, and isn't everything wonderful? Conflict. That's the underlying energy. There was a lot of conflict, and the 5 of Swords, of course, is hollow victory. So was it worth it? Perhaps not, if that is the underlying energy. Unexpected backlash. They didn't foresee this energy, and that is the energy that was surrounding this award. The 5 of Swords, it might have been between the couple themselves, the 5 of Swords, and it might have been internal conflict as well, at least for Prince Harry, about wondering whether he should actually show up and do this, but he did. I suppose money changed hands. It was all required, couldn't back out of it, and so there it was, done and dusted. But that's not exactly a wonderful energy. Done, but with a lot of fighting, and at the end of it, possibly not the nicest feeling. So let's see the situation we are dealing with. Today we're dealing with a Hierophant in reverse. That is breaking rules. That is being disruptive. What did Pat Tillman's mother say? A divisive figure, Harry. Controversial, divisive. I don't know if she used the word controversial, but she certainly called him divisive. And there it is, the royal rebels, the Hierophant in reverse, very divisive, rule breakers, and upsetting the status quo. All of that energy, not necessarily very positive energy, also for two people who are desperately trying to claw their way back into some sort of favourable public opinion. But left the royals, it's a royal family card, the Hierophant as well. Left the royals behind. Now what do they have as royal rebels? What can they offer? Not too much, possibly. So let's see mood going into this thing. Harry first, Harry on the left, mood going into this thing. King of Swords in reverse. That's all the criticism. This card showed up when I did the reading on his feelings about going and all the backlash and all of that. That for me is Pat Tillman energy, as I said previously in a reading a few days ago. It's now in reverse. I think he was very nervous. He was very aware that he was being compared to a legitimate hero. And some of his military record and his exploits have been dragged up, and there's been some quite interesting comments around about people saying that he, apart from being whisked off to a safe place when Camp Bastion was attacked, he might have in fact given the game away himself. That's the rumor that's going around, because he had a fallout with Chelsea. He had a bad phone call with her and he wanted to get home and see her, and so he, in our current terminology, would say doxing. He doxed himself, and all of this we've got being stacked up against a genuine American hero, Pat Tillman. He falls very short, King of Swords in reverse, but there's also this notion of this gossip and this scandal swirling around about his own service record, because King of Swords is very military. It's a very high status military, but it's in reverse. And of course, Lord West, I think he's Lord West, the Royal Navy guy, came out again and said shouldn't accept this award. So a lot of backlash, a lot of conflict. I think he felt very uncomfortable with that King of Swords in reverse. Very, very, very uncomfortable. Megan, how is she looking forward to it? On her way there, we got the Ace of Swords in reverse. Also, a hesitation energy there. I think she wondered about whether she should show up. And I saw that in the energy before they actually turned up at the Espy's. Ace of Swords uprighters. Very positive. It's very powerful energy because it's a declaration of intent. I'm doing this. This is my truth. This is my purpose. And it's very intentional. It's very direct energy, but it's in reverse. So I think she was hesitant about showing up. I think she was concerned about the backlash, about the hostility, about the things that might be written about her as well, because that Ace of Swords, the sword of truth, is in reverse. It's very directed in a negative way when the sword is in reverse. And so she was, I think, worried as well. Both worried about what people would say about them that would be very critical. When swords are in reverse, that sword of truth, verbal energy with swords, very much about attacking, criticism, cruelty. They were both worried about it. But how did they feel on the way home? And the reason I'm doing this is because we saw once a very interesting photo taken when they did their last engagement, Harry as Captain General of the Royal Marines in the UK, and on the way home, a very miserable Harry and she looking very angry and upset. So I want to know, was there something similar on the way home last night, or was it all good? Harry first, Harry's energy. How did he feel? Page of Swords. Well, he felt that he did he did well enough delivering his speech. Pages are communications. The sword is now upright. He felt like he resisted the criticism. But it's a very small energy compared with that King of Swords next to it, which is in reverse. The page is as junior as it gets. So I think that he felt quite humbled. I think he felt quite small. It disappeared, didn't stick around. And I think that Hero Harry notion has been well and truly diminished. That bubble has burst for Harry with that Page of Swords. It's a bracing yourself energy. It's being on alert. It's being on guard. Ready to defend yourself, ready to clap back. He delivered his speech relatively well. It was a relatively well written speech with a bit of a clap back at the poor mother, Pat Tillman's mother. So he did as well as he could, I suppose, in the circumstances. You know me, I'm not a fan, but I will give credit where credit is due. But it's a very small energy. It's a a very reduced energy. I think he was left feeling quite humbled. So how did she go? She's been posting pictures of herself all over in that white dress, that knockoff of her Stella McCartney wedding gown. How did she feel? Interesting energy. The Four of Swords, it's in reverse. That's underneath the smile and the bare shoulders and the slinky dress and the hugging Serena and everybody, there's something inside her on the way home was dying a little bit. It's the wanting the earth to open up and swallow you, the Four of Swords. It's needing to hide away, needing to heal, needing to lick your wounds when it's upright. When it's in reverse, you keep putting yourself out there because for some reason you can't retreat and take 6 months off, as Catherine has, for instance, because she's seriously ill and she's undergoing this very serious treatment, and so she's withdrawn from the public eye. Megan, for some reason, can't do it. She can't withdraw from the public eye and get herself to herself and get her brand going and do all the stuff she needs to do. She keeps putting herself out in the public. She wasn't happy with the way she came across. Not at all. The Four of Swords is a difficult card. When it's in reverse, it's a particularly difficult card because people can see it. So she smiled. She looked pretty good. She seemed to have new teeth. She looked better than she looked last seen in Nigeria, but she didn't feel comfortable afterwards. We're talking about afterwards now. How did she feel? I think she would really have liked a lot of cheering, a lot of, people flinging flowers at her in their underwear and whatever else. Rock star kind of reception. Had to dodge the red carpet. That's Four of Swords in reverse. Had to leave early. That's Four of Swords in reverse. It's awkward. It's embarrassing. It's humiliated energy in that Four of Swords in reverse. Interesting, because as I say, you can't really see it on her face, and that's why we do tarot. We do tarot to scratch the surface and find out what's really going on. Humbled over here, a little bit humiliated over there. I think she would have felt a whole lot better if he had invited her onto the stage with him, handed her the mic and said, you deliver the speech. It would have gone a whole lot better. Their feelings about each other on the way home, in that car ride home, we assume that they drove home together in the same car. We're just assuming that. His feelings about her, it's the Five of Wands. It's another fighting card, and it's a competition card, the Five of Wands. This is fighting when you shouldn't really be fighting, and someone wins and everybody else loses, and the person who wins also loses. This is competing. This is who gets the most airtime, who gets the most notice, who gets the big headlines in the press the next day, who wins. And we're in the after tarot. He feels like he trounced her. A very interesting energy. I won. I didn't let you claw at me. And there were some very interesting screen grabs of him keeping quite well away from her. She was clawing at him. She had her hand on his knee. Very inappropriate in a public setting like that to be grabbing someone's thigh. It wasn't even knee. And he was having none of it. And then, of course, she tried to claw at him when he was setting off to receive his award. And he wriggled out of that one too. I won. Five of Wands. How does she feel about him on the ride home? Queen of Pentacles. He's still her golden goose. She needs this. This is the big card that's shown up in the reading. I've got Fluffy who's shown up in the reading too. And somehow she knows. And Queen of Pentacles holding that trophy, that treasure, that prize. It's the wife energy of the tarot. I need to be his wife. He's my big payday. He's my big prize. I need to be there as the doting wife, smiling, clapping, holding hands, grabbing his thigh, because I don't have anything else. So he's feeling embattled with that Five of Wands, but for once he's actually come out on top. She's feeling she had her moment, very pleased with the fact that through him, and I'm sure she organised it, through him she got that big prize, that big pentacle. She's still looking at it. She is treasuring the glow that comes from being associated with him. She's not going to let go of this easily. He's got his work cut out if he thinks he's going to carry on trouncing her and perhaps sail away, as I'm suspecting, given current energy that I'm reading. But that's interesting. Where to next for them as a couple? Our final card. Ooh, Nine of Swords, trouble, anxiety, worry, stress. What to do? I need to slay this dragon. And a lot of tossing and turning and wondering how this is all going to resolve itself, what to do about this situation. A lot of swords showing up in this reading, which means thoughts and pondering and planning and strategizing and feeling conflicted and cold energy. Swords are cold energy. The only real positive energy is in this Queen of Pentacles, and that's because of the adjacency, the royal adjacent energy that's coming from Harry to Meghan. But he's over it. Five of Wands, Nine of Swords, I think, is particularly his energy. And very interesting cards in here, despite the happy smiley faces that we saw last night. So that's it for them. I'm going to look quickly at Catherine's energy, whether she's going to show up at the tennis tomorrow.